Well, just making this video to like give a reason why that I don't do the prayers no more when I do the Walking with Jesus Bible study. Because for one thing, like when we all get into it, we all learn as we go, and we learn more and more and more the closer we get to God and everything like that. And it comes to find out that I've learned, and I felt that God has also led me to that it's not exactly a good thing to be recording prayers on videos. And by that I mean, like, it says it in scriptures multiple times that you should not be doing it for show. And just like the Pharisees, where they stand against the wall outside the city, and they stand there just for people, and they do long, excessive prayers all day long, just so people could walk by and say, "Oh, look at this holy man. He's sitting there just doing prayers. God bless him, because look at he just is whole righteous and stuff, because he's constantly just doing prayers. Look at him, look at him." And basically, they're just standing there doing exceedingly long prayers just for show. And just like when I know that you're supposed to pray for each other, but you're supposed to do that in private. There's many of times that it says also in the scriptures that you need to go into your quiet place, to your private area. That the prayer is something between you and God. It's a conversation you have. Now it's kind of different than when you're in church and the preacher is asking you to stand up and you say a prayer before you leave, or a prayer before you begin this. Totally different story. You're not showboating. You gather in the congregation together to do a prayer. Now, when you're sitting here just making videos of constantly say, "Come on, let me pray for you" and stuff, you can pray for the people. You don't have to do that on the video, because it just seems like you're just posting. It's almost like boasting. You're not really. It's not close. It's not coming from the heart. It seems like you're doing a gain out of those prayers, and they're not coming from the heart, and they're not going straight, to God or for that person. So therefore, it's a kind of a big no-no to be doing that. And I'm not trying to down anybody, not trying to correct anybody, but I'm just telling you the reason why I'm not doing it. And it's for those specific reasons. So I mean, I say a prayer for everybody all the time. I include everybody into my prayers. But that is something when I do between me and God, when I go into prayer with God. I'm not going to sit here and record myself and let everybody see, "Oh, look at her, she's making all these prayers." I'm not going to do that, because I'm giving a prayer from my heart. I'm not giving a prayer to be showboating and to gain people because I'm sitting here doing this and doing that. I'm not going to do that. It says it in the Bible. Do not do that. Just like it says when you are to give alms or whatever. I can't say the word correctly, but when you're supposed to help the needy is what that means. You're not supposed to let other people know it. It clearly says in the Bible multiple times that you're not supposed to let the right hand know what the left hand is doing, or vice versa, because it is something that's between you and God. God sees what you do. Nobody else needs to know what you do. When it comes to those things, when it comes to prayer, when it comes to helping the needy and helping somebody else, that is between you and God. And it's between you and that person. You're just supposed to do it just to help and give it to that person. And that's it. Nobody else needs to know. You don't need to show everybody. You need to go and tell everybody about it, because then you're doing it for the wrong reason. Not only that, but then you're profiting off the needy. And oh my gosh, how the verses that it says against that, against profiting against the needy, you're profiting because you're gaining followers, you're gaining likes, you're doing it off of that particular person during their times of struggles and everything. You're not supposed to record it. Yes, I'm glad that it is spreading some kind of positivity, that's making people want to give out and go give more to people. But you're not supposed to be recording it. That's something that people need to be doing because it's the right thing to do. Yes, there needs to be a lot more positivity going around, and that should be spread, but you're not supposed to be recording it. You're boasting, you're gaining off of it. And then you're also just, it's a sin to sit there and boast. It is a very big sin to gain off of people's sorrows. I mean, when it says there in the scriptures that it talks about the Pharisees to go to the widow's house after somebody had died. Now, while they're sitting there, the widows provide them food and stuff, little stuff that they don't very much have. And it's very hard for them back in the times, for the widows to get anything else to provide for them, because their husbands are gone, and if their kids are not big enough to help them, then they're screwed. So then not only that, the Pharisees would stay there for long periods of time, and then when they leave, they then take the money, say, "Hey, you need to pay me for me standing here and praying for you." it's extortion. You're extorting off of these people who are in need. You're supposed to provide for the needy, not extort off of them. So I pray for everybody. I pray for a lot of things, and I love everybody. I pray for my brothers and sisters in Christ. I pray for all the missing sheep. I pray for all the people with disabilities and everything. I pray for all the people that's held in captivity. I pray for all the people that's in war. But so I love everybody, and I make sure I pray for, and I even pray for my enemies all the time. Now I'm not going to sit here and do these prayers on videos, and I'm not going to sit here and say a prayer for each and every person, or when it comes on there. Like, now there is some things that when I see a post and somebody that I do not know and I cannot message them or whatever, and it's a post and I'm like, oh, God bless them, and I'll be like, oh, so sorry for your loss, and I'll say a little prayer on there, but I'm not doing it to gain anything. I'm putting them in the prayer, saying, God, please, I'm not trying to sit there and boast or anyways, and I'm not going to sit here and make a video of it, because I want it to be genuine. I want God to hear my prayer. I don't want it to just be turned away. And that's exactly what would happen. Everything that you do when you do it in boast, you're doing it in vain, and it no longer counts. God's not going to look at it as it coming from your heart. He's looking at it coming from a whole nother place, a whole nother place of you trying to gain off of and extortion other people. He's not going to see your true heart behind it, because obviously it's not going to be a true heart behind it. Because honestly, if you saw somebody who was in need and God put upon your heart to bless that person, then you would go do it. You don't have time to take out your phone and set up a video camera and record that. You don't have time to sit there. I mean, you're supposed to be spreading God's gospel, and I get that you're supposed to be spreading the love. But to sit there and all you do is just make prayer videos and that's it. You're not spreading any of God's gospel. You're just showboating prayers, man. You're just letting everybody know this guy, he'll pray for you. Well, anybody can pray for anybody. That's not spreading God's gospel. That's not spreading God's love. You're just praying to the air. And I'm sorry, and I don't know about you, but it really aggravates me when people are doing this. And they act like they're going to heal you through the phone, and they got their hands like this, and like they're going to have some magical power. I mean, who are they worshiping? Satan to do magic through the phone? Because Satan works through the phone like that. Spells work through the phone like that. Wizard and witchcraft works through the phone like that. God works through prayers. God heals through prayers. He don't nothing going through like this over the phone. That's witchcraft. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean, but that's just the God's honest truth. And nobody's sitting here and just doing that. I mean, it's for show. It's trying to get more people to follow them, and people go flip through and say, oh, look, that guy's going to touch and heal me. And no, that's not how it goes, and that's not how it works. So I'm so sorry. I'm not trying purposely to offend anybody. I mean, if this is correcting somebody, I hope you take it in love. I'm just telling you straight up, you can read in the scriptures for yourself where God completely talks about not doing so. Jesus says it out of his mouth. Do not do that. You're supposed to do it out of the kindness and out of the love of your heart. You're not supposed to showboat. And he completely talks about the Pharisees constantly always doing it, standing out in public, constantly praying, constantly saying prayers over people in public, all for show and boast. That is something private. That is a conversation between you and God, a relationship between you and God. Now, there's a difference if you're all sitting there and at a Bible study, and then you get through and you all want to say a prayer for each other. That's just fine. Do that. And if you're praying over the sick over somebody together, yes. But you're not sitting there supposed to be sitting here filming and just constantly doing that, and then posting it and expecting people just to give you likes and stuff. So, I know even though I was doing a Bible study and I was closing my Bible study in prayer, it was the fact that I'm sitting there, even though I wasn't feeling myself doing the prayer, because I don't feel my Bible studies, I don't feel me, I just feel God's nature, because we're supposed to be focusing on God and his word and his creation and not me. But so even though I still wasn't on me, I just felt that the prayer should not be, video recorded. So that is the reason why I don't no longer do the prayers on my Walking with Jesus Bible studies. Thank y'all, and God bless, and that's just